Monday, November 20th, 2017, Monaco 64, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. So it's 8 a.m. London. This is an early market update. Just want to talk a bit about things, what's going on in the markets and in other areas. So right now, spot gold is down 1291. The range has been 1290 to 1295. So gold's been kept pegged there overnight. 1295, 96 area is a key resistance. 1300 as well. Silver down 15 at 1715. The high's been 1735, the low 1714. So I'm not surprised, gold and silver are controlled as always. Maybe a lot of people expected it to be a lot higher this morning after what it did Friday evening, but believe me, the central banks around the world, in the US, in Europe, especially in London, Bank of England and the Fed, and I think the ECB as well, they control the price of gold. Probably a lot through the Bank for International Settlements in Basel, Switzerland, which is like a sovereign, supranational, above the law institution, which actually the BIS during World War II worked. The head of the German central bank, the Nazi government, worked with all the allied central banks out of Basel. And that's how they kept the war going, by financing the German government through the BIS. There were calls for the BIS to be disbanded after the war, but the British delegation, I think, they said that we needed to keep the Bank for International Settlements. So it's, if you want to know who's controlling the monetary system of the world, that's it. They meet regularly every 2 months in Basel. I think the head of the major central banks, they carry diplomatic immunity, diplomatic passports. They're above the law. You can't send police or accountants, anyone into to the Bank for International Settlements, to audit that institution. It was created in 1930, and it was created for basically to help manage all the loans that have been given to Germany and all the reparations after World War I. So that's the Bank for International Settlements, and a lot of the people who work for the Bank of England or the Fed or the ECB, they are basically, they go and work. They're called, they're seconded. They go to work for the BIS for a year or two, and they're paid by the Bank of England or the Fed. And how do I know that? Well, I've experienced that, because when I put our house for sale a few years ago, one of the viewers worked for the Bank of England, and he said, "Oh, I was working in Basel for a few years, and now we're back." And I said, "Oh, you must have been working for the Bank for International Settlements." And he said, "Yes." So it's if you really want to defeat the central banking system, that's where we need to look at and expose the Bank for International Settlements that helped finance World War II. We're told that it was a war to, between good and evil, to fight Nazi and Adolf Hitler and fascism. But our central bankers were working together with the head of the German central bank in Basel. And that it's no wonder that Switzerland wasn't invaded. It's not because Switzerland has, a militia and every, grown Swiss male is in the army. No, it's because that's where they finance all the wars. And wars are just a game of the elite. So that's where we need to look. I wasn't even going to talk about that, but this is where it's led to. So Bank for International Settlements, Basel, Switzerland. And yeah, so what else is going on? Well, the stock market, the Dow is down 53 points, 23,302. And actually looking at the chart of the Dow, it's starting to form a head and shoulder. We've got like, I'm not going to put the chart up. I'm just talking, I'm just going to tell you where, I think is going to be key resistance. It's going to be 23,200, I think, is the neckline of that head and shoulder. And it's been forming since, like the 24th of October. This is what it looks like to me. Is it telling me that it's going to be a major crash? No, but I think it's going to keep going lower here the next few days or next few weeks. I guess this week is an abbreviated week. We've got Thanksgiving on Thursday, so I think it's going to be very quiet after Wednesday. Friday, the markets are back, but a lot of people are away for Thanksgiving. Currency-wise, we're actually seeing the euro come off a little bit this morning. Euro actually is down only 30 pips now. It was down as much as 70, so down only 0.25%. The dollar is down slightly against the yen, pretty much unchanged at 112.07. The talk about the euro is that there's been, Merkel, the German chancellor, hasn't been able to form a new government after the recent elections, and that her government has collapsed. People, this is from Bloomberg, people are always using excuses for price movements. It might have had an impact on the euro, but don't forget the euro rallied quite strongly in the last week or so. So maybe that's just a little bit of profit taking. What else is going on? Crude oil, 56.67. So still above that 55 level, but still pretty good resistance around 57 area, I would say. Bitcoin trading at $8,000 now per I don't know what. You could, for gold you can say $1,200-$1,300 per ounce, but I don't really know what a Bitcoin is. So per Bitcoin, they always draw like a gold coin when they, the Bitcoin symbol is like a little gold disc. So whatever. What else is going on? They're talking about, Zero Hedge is talking about the German government coalition collapsing as well. I think it was the FDP party, smaller party. They said they can't deal with the Greens, so that's just collapsed the coalition. They might have to have new elections in Germany, so we'll have to wait and see. And there's another article about the ECB, European Central Bank, proposing to end deposit protection, which I spoke about, I think, a few videos ago last week. Back to the Bank for International Settlements. They basically, the head of the major central banks, they meet there every 2 months and decide, to coordinate their policies. And that's what they do. And that's why they're able to keep the system going for now. And that's why also they're able to keep what they call the hard currencies under control, because they've got control of the gold market. I'm sure they work through with the Bank of England, the Federal Reserve, and the ECB to keep those prices pegged. It's the OPEC of the globalist financial system. So it's a cartel. It's not a free market, the Bank for International Settlements. It's actually, I would say, an institution that is above the law, which would mean that it can do whatever it wants. So if President Trump came out and said, I'm going to have the U.S. withdraw its membership from the Bank for International Settlements, the Federal Reserve will not operate with these people anymore, then I would think, yeah, he's going after the swamp. But I'm sorry, President Trump, you nominated Jerome Powell, Carlyle Group partner, former, which is totally globalist institution created by the Bush Senior, Carlyle Private Equity Group. I mean, and he's worked on Wall Street as well. Maybe next you should appoint Lloyd Blankfein for one of your posts. That would, do it. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. And before I leave, I'd like to say, Google and YouTube, they've been censoring my videos a bit now. Before it used to be, I used to do a video, and maybe a day later they put that little yellow thing saying that my video is not suitable for most advertisers, but I would ask for a revision, and they would, let go, and I would still get paid. But now I've done the last few videos, it goes straight into the yellow, and I've asked for the revision. They do it, but usually I get, the advertising revenue right in the beginning, so it's hurting me. So if you, could donate to the channel, would be appreciated. You don't have to, of course. It's just if you feel I add value. There's some links below in the description. You can donate via PayPal. I've got a Bitcoin link. I've got Ethereum link. So, and I'll talk to you later. Take care. Bye.